Just kidding. It's not live yet. Hello, happy Tuesday. Here we are, DEI Alliance Spotlight. We are so excited. We have a guest from Asian Coaches Association. Coach, introduce yourself and tell us where you're representing.
No, my name is Katsuma. I'm the Director of Basketball Operations / Recruiting Coordinator at Colorado State, representing the Asian Coaches Association. And what a privilege it is to be with you here today, Brian, and appreciate you.
Yeah, excited about it, man. Excited about it. So I'm already here. I already know you because I live not too far away. I've been to practice. We've played some open gym in the
Yep.
so I know how great you are, but I look forward to more people getting to know more about you. Talk a little bit about the Asian Coaches Association before we talk about your story. What is it? How'd you get connected? Kind of what's the mission with the Asian Coaches Association?
Yeah, no, I mean, it started during the pandemic, really, when I started hearing more about the Asian Coaches Association and the founders, Mike Magpile, who's the head coach now at UC Riverside, and Steve Yang, who's an assistant coach for the McNeese State women's basketball team. I just started seeing more promotion on it through social media channels, and then logged in one day and started asking questions, and I became close with Anthony Santos, who's an assistant at Cal State Fullerton, who's I've become really close with, and it just kind of blossomed from there, and try to get involved as much as I could. I've been able to speak twice on their platform, and just the opportunity to listen and learn and grow through their program has been unbelievable. Being able to listen to a guy like Eric Spoelstra
Right.
talk, and AD Pat Chun at Washington State, guys of Asian descent that
Right.
are at the peak of their professions. It's just been an honor and a privilege, and just look forward to being more involved moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk a little bit about so you talked about some of the people that are in it. You talked about some things you've done. How did it come about? Do you know much? Is it because of the pandemic that people just wanted to join forces and celebrate? It seemed like that's what a lot of our lines came from, is people during
Yeah.
the pandemic just kind of wanted to represent, their culture and take more pride in that. So talk a little bit about that if you don't mind, and then
Yeah.
a little bit about the Eric Spoelstra piece because you guys had him come on too.
Yeah. So ACA has been around for a number of years. Like I said, Mike and Steve started it. I don't even know how long ago, to be honest, but they have a deal at the Final Four every year where they try to get people to come and just hang out. And so I think that's where it started. And then during the pandemic, it was one of those things where they just started to have speakers and just a platform where coaches could come from all over the world and learn from other coaches. And I think you saw a lot of that during the pandemic. And one day I was like, man, I want to listen to this coach speak. It was Mike, actually. And then after that, it just started to be, started texting him. And one day he asked me, hey man, like, would you be on a panel with Jace Colburn, who's now the head coach at Portland State, and two ops women. One's an assistant at Yale now, and one was at Pepperdine. So I was like, yeah, I'm of course. So I was on there, and then I just continued to every week hop on the call and listen. And then just a few months ago, actually, we had Eric Spoelstra on there. He was talking offense and spacing, and because we run a similar style concept when he gets Jimmy Butler or Bam at the pinch, what we call it. And so I just kind of asked him a few questions and went back and forth with him a little bit, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it started. And, just looking forward to, like I said, just continuing to be involved as much as I can.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I love it. Talk a little bit about CSU. We know that you've been there for a little while now. Talk a little bit about your role there. What do you do? And obviously a lot of excitement for your team this year. So talk a little bit about Colorado State before we talk about yourself and your journey.
Yeah, no, Colorado State. I've been here for 4 years. I was so fortunate when Coach Medved got this job that he actually brought our whole staff with him, which in today's world is not always the case. But he had enough faith in myself and our three assistant coaches at the time to bring us on board, even though none of them had ties to the West Coast, really. But just He knew that they'd get the job done, and that I'd be there to help them any way I can. And so, going on year 4, we got a lot of pieces coming back. It's an exciting time to be a Ram. But in terms of what I do on a daily basis, I just try to make our coaches' lives, our players' lives, as easy as possible. I oversee our scheduling of games. I work hand in hand with Coach Medved on that. Oversee academics, making sure our guys are doing what they're supposed to do on the classroom. And then I'm fortunate that we have Emma Monti, our director of basketball administration. She does all of our travel, all of our meals, hotels, really all the operation stuff. So it allows me to, look ahead at, who are some guys that we need to be on recruiting wise. Watch extra film on future opponents, and also have, a playbook of things where if I'm watching a college basketball game and I like action, I clip it, and I have a database of just actions that I like. So if coach says, "Hey, I need a quick 3-point hitter or a baseline out of bounds play," I'm prepared and have that ready for him. So.
Yeah, those roles behind the scenes are so important, and a lot of times people don't know that aren't in college basketball don't know how important they are and how much you actually do. So, and it prepares you. When you become a head coach and assistant coach, and you continue to climb the ladder, definitely prepares you for a diverse amount of skills that you develop as you've kind of gone through the ranks.
Yeah.
Talking about going through the ranks, tell your story. How did you kind of get into college basketball? Did you play? Where you're from? Just kind of talk a little bit about your story and how you ended up at Ohio State on such a great staff.
Sure. So, long story short, when I was in middle school in 8th grade, actually, I had a tennis accident where I was hit in the eye with a tennis ball, and I'm now 100% blind in my right eye. So my depth perception after that was never the same, obviously. And but basketball was always my first love, and so going through high school, playing in high school, I realized probably after my junior year that I was never going to play college basketball. So I got involved coaching the AAU team, the Wisconsin Force, my junior year of high school, and I just fell in love with it. Ended up coaching my high school team after I graduated my senior year that summer. And then as I was applying to schools, I applied to UW Madison. Coach Ryan was there at the time. Went to high school with his daughters, and then the University of Minnesota and Marquette. So those were the 3 schools that I was really looking at. And my AAU coach, Dave Shaw, who's one of my mentors, who I look up to and talk to regularly. He was a video or a grad assistant at VCU with Coach Tubby Smith, and that's kind of how I made that decision that I was going to go up to Minnesota on a whim and just walk into their men's basketball office and say, "Hey, anything I can do to help, I'd love to be involved." And so a week after arriving on campus, one of their student managers decided that it wasn't for them, and they gave me a call, and I showed up, and I just took the bull by the horns and did everything I could to make an impact on the program with Coach Smith. 3 years later, Coach Pitino got hired when I was a senior. Won the NIT that year, and I remember we were on the road at Nebraska during conference play, and he asked if I would stay on and be his grad assistant. And on the spot, I accepted. So I spent 2 years after being a student manager there with Coach Pitino as a grad assistant, and then he hired me as a special assistant to the head coach, player personnel role in my 7th year there. And then Coach Medved got the job at Drake, and his assistant Bob Ritchie got the head coaching job at Furman. So he was looking for a staff. And Coach Thorson, who's now the assistant at Minnesota, was the one that kind of reached out to me at first. Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach at Minnesota, he was an assistant at the time at Minnesota when I was there. And so that's kind of how I got tied up with Coach Medved and interviewed, and kind of the rest is history. So
Yeah, you named a
it's a
lot
lot
of
of
good.
people.
Yeah,
It's a lot
a
of
lot of
people.
what it takes to get to where you are, and credit to you for building the relationships and the respect to where you could continue to move. Because like you said, credit to Coach Nico as well, because he brought you, but credit to you for being able to put in the work to be able to earn that respect. A lot of times, guys in non-coaching positions can get left behind even easier. So credit to
Nah,
you. And shout out to Ben Johnson. He's a DEI Alliance
yeah,
next up participant and head coach at Minnesota. We love Ben over here. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the fun stuff now. So first,
yeah,
your staff. So I played some pickup ball, with
yep.
you. Coach Ali's known for this famous shot he hit. What's the real scouting report on Coach Ali? You got to give me that real quick.
No, he's a Curry. You can't let him shoot. You can't let him set his feet. If his feet are set, that thing's going in 9 out of 10 times. He's still the second best shooter on staff behind me. I think
Hey, let's go.
you're only good as your last competition. I'm pretty sure I won the last shooting competition against him. So
I
I hold
love
the
it.
crown right now. I
I
hold the
love it.
crown
I
right
love
now.
it. I love it. I'm gonna have to see what he says about that later on in the season. But I love to hear that. I got some
Yep.
trash talk for you. So let's talk. There's a debate now with younger kids and people from our generation. Who is the greatest
I
of
already
all?
know where you're going. I already
Yeah,
know where you're going with this, but
MJ,
it's
MJ
Jordan. It's
or
Jordan.
okay, MJ or
It's
LeBron. But I didn't have to say nothing else.
LeBron, what he's been able to do over the course of his career is, I mean, you could say it's unmatched, but LeBron is, excuse me, Jordan is still the GOAT in my eyes.
Yeah, I'm vibing with that answer. I respect it. I love it. All right, let's talk favorite food. Are you a cook? I don't want to speak for you. Talk about family, married, single. What's going on there? And then, do you cook? What's your favorite food? What's kind of your flow? What's your routine?
Yeah, no, definitely not married. But my dad, who was a sushi chef, owned his own restaurant in Madison on State Street. So my favorite food is sushi. I could eat sushi 7 days out of the week
Nice.
I was allowed to. Um, but I can throw down in the kitchen as well.
Okay, okay, okay.
During the summers, my freshman year of college and my sophomore year, I went back and I would work for him. Make sushi rolls. We're actually doing a sushi thing as a staff next week.
What?
Yeah, we do some spicy tuna rolls and
So
whatever else. I
are
mean,
you teaching the players how to, or are you teaching
no,
coaches?
we're just doing the staff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
that's
any players who want to come, they're more than welcome to. But we've done that a couple times actually, where Ali and I, Coach Sam, we're gonna make some sushi next week.
what's up.
Hey, you're right down the street. Come through.
I know I need to come through.
Yeah,
I'm listening to this food. I'm like, man, this is good. I like it. Hold
yeah,
on. Quick shout out to Daryl Jacobs, our executive director of the DI Alliance. Appreciate you, Daryl, tuning in, and appreciate all you do for the DI Alliance to make such great things happen. Some of us have, other jobs to do during other times. Crazy people like me get to be on live streams with coaches like Aaron. So thank you, Daryl, for all you do,
yeah.
man. All right, what else we got? Let's see. So basketball wise, so accomplishment. What's one of the favorite accomplishments you've had along the way in your journey?
I think just being a part of two NCAA tournament teams in Minnesota. Obviously they're extremely hard to get to. I think this is year 12 being a part of a basketball program and a college basketball program, and two tournaments is something that I'm proud of being a part of, even if it was extremely small. Those guys put in the work, but just that experience was awesome for me.
Now, would you also say proudest moment that's the same thing, or would you say it's different than that? Is there a proudest moment that you've had
Um,
individually?
when Coach Medved hired me, I was pretty proud of myself.
Yeah,
I always knew that I wanted to get into coaching, and jumping on board with Coach Medved probably allowed me the best
right.
opportunity to reach my goals here. And not that I wouldn't have been able to in Minnesota, but that's just a big jump, and I knew that, and so. I know it was down to me and someone else for that spot at Drake when Coach Medved was there, and I was again very blessed and fortunate to be in that position, and so I was proud that day when he called me and offered me the job.
Absolutely, as you should be. Colorado State is right there on the verge of being a top 25 program. You guys have done an incredible job in a short amount of time, and definitely people in the scheduling world don't want to see you guys one way or the other. So that's a credit to you guys. What about obstacles? People think this business is kind of an easy thing, and man, it looks so cool. You guys are on TV. You get to wear suits. all you do is talk about basketball all day. What's one of the obstacles you've overcome to kind of get where you are?
Um, I don't want to speak for myself, but you look like at a guy like Mike Magpie, who's now the head coach at UC Riverside, and um, I believe he's the only Asian head coach in college basketball right now, and so for myself, a guy like Mike has kind of paved the way, and a guy like Anthony at Cal State Fullerton has paved the way for me, hopefully to one day be in their shoes. And so I think that's the biggest obstacle is that just there aren't that many Asian college basketball coaches. Um, but there's a lot of guys out there in my position all around the world that would love to one day, be in those guys' shoes. And credit to them, big credit to them for kind of paving the way for all of us, and Steve.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. Definitely a challenging profession. And the cool part about it is, you just never know. Like I'm sure Coach
Yeah.
McPile didn't know he was going to be the head coach there when he was at Campbell or wherever he was before that, thinking like, I'm gonna be the head coach at this age, at this time, at this place. So you just never know. You keep treating people right, playing your cards right, and things just
Oh,
fall.
1,000%.
No doubt. And
It's a people business.
Eric Spoelstra even talked about that in
Yeah.
his on the Asian Coaches Association Zoom. I was on there myself and watched it.
Yep.
Talk about the why. Is there a why that you kind of motivates you to kind of get you going? What is it that makes you want to do what you do?
Oh, it's the players that I get to work with every single day. This isn't a job to me. This is fun for me. So those guys, just helping them develop, helping them grow, seeing them accomplish their goals and dreams. I mean, that's why I do it. No other reason. I just get a kick out of coming in the building every single day, seeing those guys and doing whatever I can to help them reach their goals.
Yeah, I love it. Servant mindset all the way, man. And I've seen it firsthand, and I can attest to it. So, last two, advice for coaches getting into this industry. Any advice you have, and then leave us with one funny story of either yourself playing and beating Ali in the shooting competition, or something in practice. And Ali Farouk, for those that don't know, who's an assistant at Colorado State, is who I'm referring to. But yeah, those last two, advice for anybody in the business, young and up and coming, rising coaches, and then also a funny story.
Yeah, I think one piece of advice I would give is that just be reliable. Something that I really tried to strive to do when I was at Minnesota, and especially working for Coach P. His first year was just do whatever he needed me to do, however small, however big the task was. Um, I wanted to be that person where Coach Johnson could call me and say, "Hey, I have a flat tire. Can you come grab me?" Or um, you know, uh, man, I can't pick up my dry cleaning before the game. Can you go do that for me? Whatever the task was, I took it upon myself to be that guy to do whatever was needed. And so I think that would be my one piece of advice is just be a yes man, do whatever it takes. And then I guess the only other thing would be um, surround yourselves with people who believe in you and who challenge you, who allow you to grow and you know, be yourself and do what you do. So, Coach Medved, I couldn't be any more fortunate to work for him. He allows me to just come in and get my work done and um, help these guys as best I see fit. And he believes in me and challenges me. So, all
Absolutely.
right,
And then
funny
last one, funny story. What you got for us? What you got for us? I know you got something in the bag.
man. So I have a video clip of it still, but when I was in Minnesota, there wasn't a whiteboard for some reason. There wasn't a drawing board at the scorers table, and Coach needed one, and so we had a closet, and so I go sprinting into the closet, and at the time we all had towels. We carry towels around, and
Yeah.
for some reason, I turned the corner, and there was a towel on the ground, and I slipped, and I fell back. Uh, board went flying, and within 10 minutes of that happening, our video coordinator at the time, Billy O'Mara, who's now at NC State, um, he made the clip of American Sniper when the guy's on the rooftop. When he's on the rooftop and he's shooting the bad guy and so, but it was, I mean, the whole clip is hilarious. I'll send it to you, but within 10 minutes of it happening, it was on a video and sent throughout the staff and the players, and it's pretty good.
That's
so
awesome.
but no, I mean, I did the full feet up in the air, hands back. I mean, it was, but I popped up.
I love it. Pop up quick. That's what we do.
Yeah,
That's what we
have
do.
to.
Let's
have
go.
To. So
do you get any footage like that on the staff now? Do you have like a file and do a highlight tape at the end of the year? Do you do anything where you sneak it in game film?
We might need to.
You have to take a page from that book, man, because
we might. There was something that happened the other day in practice. Someone randomly fell, and I thought about that right away. So yeah, we might have to make a little bloopers edit at the end of the year.
Have to create that.
Most definitely.
Put it in one of the film sessions. Just sneak it in, just for some laughter.
Yeah, no question.
But no, appreciate you joining us today, man. We'll let you have any last words, but excited for you in this season. Excited for you in your career. You're gonna continue to do big things. I'm a huge fan. I'm biased. I have no problem saying that, but more people that get to know you, they'll be biased too, man. So I'm excited for you. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate you, Coach B. I mean, come on down the street anytime. You're always welcome in Moby. And for anybody out there, the Rams are going to be on television a lot. You need to watch us. It'll be a fun year. So go Rams. And again, appreciate DEI Alliance, you, rising coaches. What an unbelievable job you guys do. So thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Good luck, and I'll see you soon. I'm taking you up on that sushi, so you don't avoid me when I try to come up.
Come on, man. Sushi. I think we're thinking Thursday actually, so I'll let you know. All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay.